In this video, we're going to continue to add details to our model. And in the previous videos, we focused on how we can sculpt hard surfaces. So how we can create like the effect of metal plates or iron plates. Now, remember, you can always do a best preview render real quick to check if the material and the object are coming out like you intended it. So you can always test with a little bit of shadows and extra quality your model using the BPR button on the top right of the on the top of the toolbar on the right. So you can see that everything looks pretty more detailed and with more quality when you do a render instead of using just the standard view settings. So I can go now in the document and I can export these as an image like JPEG or Photoshop or PNG, and I can use it then to show my work to my colleagues or clients or professor or whatever. So I created a folder here called rendering. This is going to be just first test. We're going to see later how we can create more renderings and also how we can adjust the lighting and also how we can do some render settings. But before we go there, we will continue here to talk about sculpting. And this was another example of hard modeling, hard sculpting, so that we can create like a robot. And you can see that by applying different materials, you can get like more hard surface effect. So material is really important when you get to the second stage of your work, and also lighting will be really important. So materials, lighting, and render settings and the model itself are going to be really important when you get to the rendering part. So we saw how we can create this like mechanic or like sci-fi or cyberpunk hard surfaces details, and we will continue a little bit also in this video to see how we can add finer details, smaller and smaller details. But well, you can use them for your clothing. You can do again apparel design, fashion design, armor. You can create armors, and we also, if we go in Sketchfab here, also in the previous video, we saw how we can get references and we can study these 3D models that we find here, or we can use them as references. We can use them as part of our work to understand better how things are done. You can see this is a sculpture here, and the facial hairs and the skin here. These are all really tiny details. The details on the lips and the details of the skin, of the hair. You can see the hair have been sculpted on top of the head. So this is one way you can do the hair. So just make it part of the entire mesh, or you can also apply hair later with a particular feature of ZBRUSH, which are called fibers. So again, if you want to get inspired by some models here like cyberpunk or sci-fi models, we can go there and see all the little details, all the finer details that we can apply, like buttons or zippers, or you see there the leather effect of the surface. So we can apply that really fine detail on the surface using the NoiseMaker, which is another tool in ZBRUSH, but also we can brush those things out with the brush. And when you go into details, things are gonna get longer and longer. So the more you get into details, the more time you need to spend to reach the effect you're looking for. So first, I want to start with some details here on this robot model, like cyberpunk robots, cyborg model. And we can still use the dam or the chisel to apply finer and finer parts. You can see here, I can also use the standard brush. It's a really simple brush, and you can use it for many reasons, also to add really fine details. So the smaller will be the brush, the smaller will be the detail. So you can see I am sculpting here like, I don't know, tubes or like wires on top of the surface there. And again, depends if you want to apply the parts like subtools or if you want to keep everything into the same mesh. So this is an option that you have. It's your decision if you want to do everything on one single mesh or you want to create like different parts separated. So I will adjust the intensity. I will adjust also the RGB. I want to start working with the painting together with the sculpting. And we will get more in detail in painting in the following videos. But here, I just want to show you that if you paint and sculpt together, you can see that you have like a double effect. So sometimes if you want to do things that are applied on a surface, it's better to use also mRGB, which is painting with material and color, and also sculpting, in this case, like pushing the polygons forward because we're using standard. And of course, I can go the other way. I can go with the Alt key and go the other way. And in that case, I can instead of pull the polygons, I can push them inside, so like to create carvings. And again, they can be used to create like the panels of your model. Now you can also only paint if you want. So if you deactivate the Z add, you can just paint out things. And usually when you have like carvings or things that are like not hit by light too much, you can use like the black or darker color if you want to enhance that. So we will see that using paint is really important to add a lot of details, a lot of effects on your model. So to increase the quality, to increase the realism and the details without actually increasing the number of polygons. You're gonna get to the point where polygons will be a lot of polygons. So you need to get smart. You need to work also with painting instead of only using sculpting. But for now, we are just like into smaller details here, but not really small. So we can just go there and sculpt and paint and fun. And you can see here I'm trying to paint out and add a little bit of details to this robot. Just going here, and if I hold the Alt key and click, you can go the opposite as I was telling you before. And also you're gonna switch the color. So you have two colors on the left side. One is the primary color, the other one is the secondary. So if you hold the Alt key, you will go the opposite with your brush and also with the color. And you can always adjust. Remember that you have this feature on the top right to adjust the last sculpt or brush that you have applied onto the surface. So this is really handy. Now, before we move on, you can also add details with alphas. Alpha are images that contain information about what will be like more visible or less visible, or like more extruded or less extruded. And you can see that in ZBRUSH Central here, you can look for the ZBRUSH alpha library on the main website, and you will find a lot of alphas that you can use to add a lot of fine details. Like you can see here, you have like leader effect or scales or well, you can just go there and see these are like scale, like for a snake or a dragon. Or you can go here into various effects, or you have industrial like machinery or mechanical industrial design, and you can use those also for apparel design. And then you have nature paint patterns that you can add, and of course you have rocks, skins. So to paint the skin surface, you have like these little veins, little blood veins there. This could be used for painting, but also a little bit for sculpting. And then you have stencils. So basically anything that it's black and white can be used as an alpha, but it's like more professional. And you can create also your own. So to get one of these, you can just right click, save the image, and now we're gonna apply it to our model. Like it's gonna be like an additional